Rachel Gabusi will never know her two older sisters. Militia killed them with machetes before cutting her. We met her family in this camp for displaced people in Bunia in the Democratic Republic of Congo. They fled their village when the militia attacked, but ran into more fighters down the road. They also cut off her other sister's arm. Her father, Richard, told us how his wife was killed.
I was running behind my wife and children. They grabbed me and started cutting with machetes. Then they caught my wife and started cutting her too. She was pregnant, and so they cut the baby from her stomach.
Many of the people in the camps tell similar stories of attacks by men from the Lendu ethnic group. We went to some of the villages they fled. These are the remains of one family's home. They fled when the attackers came. Some of their possessions are left behind. The attackers set the house on fire, and they did the same in the house next door as well. Another family lived here and they ran a business. They were repairing motorcycles and selling spare parts, also completely destroyed. And it's a similar story of destruction as we go down the street. Many of the homes on this side belong to people from the Hema ethnic group. They weren't the only targets. Just across the road, homes and businesses belonging to ethnic Lendus were destroyed as well. There's been conflict between the two ethnic groups in the past. In the 1990s and 2000s, Uganda and Rwanda fought the Congolese government for control of eastern Congo. In Ituri, Hema and Lendu militias were their proxies. Tens of thousands of civilians were killed. But now, LOKANA Safari told us there is no conflict between the two groups. He's a Lendu who says he hid his Hema neighbours here in his house when the militia attacked. Like many, he thinks politicians planned the violence to further postpone Congo's overdue elections.
We're waiting for elections so we can have new leadership. This is our will. But the killing started without reason. This was already prepared for Lendu and Hema to start killing each other. I consider this a deliberately planned conflict.
The government denies this. Since the attacks began, it sent soldiers to take control of the villages.
It's difficult to identify the enemy right now. Army intelligence is working to identify who killed and burned houses and who was behind the massacres. We've arrested some militia who are already facing justice.
The army says the area is now secure and people should return. Some have. Many more have not, because they still don't feel safe or because they've nothing left to return to. Malcolm Webb, Al Jazeera, Ituri Province in the Democratic Republic of Congo.